Yeah, find your who's, not
You
how.
know what's the craziest thing? If you see this guy in conference, he talks to everyone and anyone. Like, I'm not like that. You know what I mean? Like, I will talk to you if you come up to me. I don't go up to people, and I know that I need to stop that, especially if you're networking. If I see three or four people talking together, I can't just walk in like nothing. You know what I'm saying? Now you approach me and forget it. It's a wrap. But me approaching people, I don't really do that. And Will is like that. Like we're in conference and I can see him going up to everybody, like introducing himself. He's all like out there, and I'm like, okay.
I don't know, Z, because how we met was I was in a conversation about land development with two ladies, and you went in between them. You parted the sea and said, "Hey, I need to talk to you." And I said,
Yeah, I
But I'm gonna
remember
tell
"What?
that.
you,
Have we met?" Excuse part of it. I don't even know you. What are you talking about?
but
So that
listen
sounds
to
like
me.
Cat,
I'm gonna
bro.
tell you one thing though. I'm gonna tell you one thing. There was a reason why. Because if I know that I can do something with you, I am gonna go up to you. I'm just not gonna go up to someone. Like, okay, so this is the thing, right? In that conference, right? Or each conference, I'm always like, okay, why am I here for? Who am I looking for? Like if I'm looking for loan officers, I am gonna find out who are the lenders in this community right now. Like everyone that I hear lender, I'm going up to that person because I'm not into wholesalers right now. Or I'm not, but if I'm there to find wholesalers, anyone that says wholesale, I'm coming up to you. Like I'm in a hunt. So
Yeah.
it all depends. So that convention, I was in a hunt to know everyone that is in the, doing anything related to land. So I just wanted to know developers who's doing new constructions. Like I need to link up with you. So,
Yeah. That's
but
that's moving with intention, right? That's you
Mhm.
you had an intention. And I guess the more you go to these places too, you learn that stuff. That you know what, the next time I go, I'm gonna do this, right? You got to move kind of, you want to meet the people that you want to work with or have an information that you need somehow, right? So you kind of move intentionally in those ways. I did that in community camp. When we went to community camp, I was very intentional in kind of who I wanted to speak to, who was
mhm.
there. So that's always great to grow into as well. Sometimes you might not be the most gregarious person that you want to conversate to it or interject yourself into a
Mhm.
conversation. But once you have intention, I think that drives you to be able to, you know what, this is my time now, right?
So excited for Squad Up this year because last year was my first ever conference of anything, and I
Okay.
was like mind blown by just like just everybody just talking. Like I was like, wow, there's more happening outside than there was inside. That tells you a lot.
Yes.
So
Mhm. But that's where
so
the
yeah,
money's at.
definitely.
I mean, don't get me wrong, that the speakers and everything is so cool and fine, but at the end of the day, they're not making deals with us. You have to, at the end of the day, you have to be out there and connect with everyone that's there because those are the ones that you're gonna get your money worth. So,
Hmm.
And that's one thing I can
Totally.
talk about on our end. Like Paul and I spent a lot of time listening to everybody. That's I can promise you, you're gonna see a lot of us in the hallways this time because it's we're gonna go watch the people we need to and want to, and then it's out in the hallway making it shake out there because it was crazy. Like we talked to Jason Park there, and he was like, "Yeah, I haven't spent 1 second in that room. I've just been out here doing deals the whole time." So I completely agree with you guys. It's gonna be an amazing experience this time. Second one,
absolutely, absolutely. Go ahead, Mando.
No, yeah. I missed the inception of the pod. What is it you up to now, Will? Me and you super cool, so I just want to see what are you doing now?
Yeah, no, I love you, brother. So, at the moment, it's been a lot of so since I was in Saskia from Boston all the way up to now, has been a lot of like kind of like discovery on like what I actually want to provide the community. So I know you and I we're speaking on certain like automations and things like that for like mostly like email and things. So that's been kind of like the focus of like what I want to do. And to Saskia's point also, and what you mentioned is like move with intention. So I've been really sniping certain specific people that I want to work with to try and like put together a product that I can then like share with the rest of the community. Um so that's been my main focus point in terms of like actionable things to do. Secondary to that is just really getting down to like the ads of in real estate, like really getting it down where I can get profitable ads going for wholesalers as that's part of my active income.
Awesome.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. We need to put raising hands for real.
Yeah, let's raise some hands. Everybody, all right, hold on. Do we know how to do it? All right, so it looks like
Exactly.
in the center we
Yeah,
hit react.
Airtime.
Yeah.
And you know I love airtime too.
I know, I'm sorry. That's why I feel bad. I'm always interrupting.
You were talking. You're like a walkie-talkie.
You're walking like a talk.
Yeah, Saskia.
So what is the most thing in real estate that you have seen or experienced that you like the most? Like where are you going with this?
So as I mentioned, like the understanding the pre-foreclosure and the foreclosure landscape, it's kind of like what I've been just trying to really understand. It's a lot simpler than I originally thought, to be honest. So part of my like what my mind ever is to help 1,000 families get out of foreclosure and guide them to financial stability through what got them there in the first place, which was real estate, right? So in order to do that, I have to really nail down two things: my process and my networking. So my networking, why? Because I can't do it by myself. There's no way I'm gonna hit 1,000 people by myself or 1,000 families by myself. So I have to approach the people who are either doing it already and they're doing it efficiently to understand how they work. So that's kind of like the main thing on the Mount Everest. Aside from that is what or the second step to that is, well, if families are leaving their current home because they can't afford it, is where are they going? Like, what is the next step? That's another thing that dawned on me from my parents. It's like, okay, great, you're selling the house, but like, where are you gonna go? Like, can you afford moving to another place? Well, how much can you afford? So that my whole kind of like scheme went into, okay, if they can afford a new property or a new house, can they rent from somebody in my circle, or can they lease option somebody in my circle so they still feel like they own something? And like give them that kind of like solution as well. So the whole encompassing thing is not only you're helping them out of that situation, you're getting them into a better situation, and you're also teaching them, or we're also like guiding them into like, hey, create active income as a part-time in real estate as well. So you have a loop essentially of people that might want to get into the business as well.
Well, I gotta ask, have you connected with Joseph Marone on the all of the foreclosure stuff?
Not with him for the foreclosure, for other things though.
Okay. I would say he would be a great resource. I would love to connect you after this. I think he would be a great help in that front.
Nita Patel.
Beautiful.
Nita Patel as well.
Nita Patel is another one, yeah.
Have you been then intentionally moving in the space with those people? Right? So not right? Because all right, you want to help people in pre-foreclosures, right? You're gonna solve that situation, you're gonna inject yourself in that. And then you said you want to help them on the other end to find housing or to stabilize them, right? That's for me, that's a funny situation. That's for me like over caring, right? Just to be honest with you, right? So how do you then transition these people who had bad financial decision making, maybe, right? They made some bad decisions in their life. So now how do you help someone like that, put them into a different environment? Like you said, maybe people in your circle, in your community. Do you want to do that to your people in your circle with maybe these people that, I don't know, maybe they maybe the right fit is not, they're not the right fit in that. I'm just trying to see how you connect all those dots, right? Because that's kind of
completely. Yeah, so I don't think this will apply for everybody. I think those who want to help themselves will help themselves no matter what. So I'm not going for everyone. I think this is more the getting them out of that situation is not because they're trying to cheat the system, right? I think we know those players out there. I think there is the good and the bad anyways. I think the people that I'm trying to help the most is those who genuinely like lost their property or got into that situation, not because they might have needed some help in their financial aspect, but it's not because they purposely decided, you know what, I'm just gonna get in debt just for the sake of it, right? Some people would do that essentially to cheat the system. In the case of and this might be where you're right, where it's like maybe I overcare and it's because of it's such a situation that was close to me, right? That I see that as like, well, and this speaks on not only for my parents but also a lot of other Hispanic families that I have encountered, where they don't necessarily know how to actually, they're not educated to keep a house, or they're not educated in that sense. So that's where it kind of like providing a resource to them, and those who want it is there or will be there, right? So who do I network in terms of that? Well, who are kind of like the educators in the program? Those are the people that I have been also discussing, and those are the ones that I kind of want to also help in terms of like their marketing and automation, because it will help as well. Because I know that the players for the foreclosure are out there. I don't need to look for them. They're all over there. The difficult part is finding those who are willing to take in, or not only willing, but like that do educate properly, right? That do care about like educating the people there. And this is not only in the sub two community or owners club. It's like individual people have that kind of like gift, and they really want to give that. So those are the ones that I've also gone into to network with.
Okay, great. Zaskia has a great model that she introduced to us in a conversation a couple of weeks back, which was having a property, right? You have I guess a single family unit, and then there's like a carpool.
You.
She described it, a connection to the unit itself built into the unit that can
Mhm.
be a source of income, a rental, a
Mhm.
studio, a one bedroom, whatever it is. And that kind of provides the family uh, a source of income, right? That they can lean on in case hard times hit, right? You never know these situations. So that for me it was super. I love the idea because conceptually, you're helping yourself, right? You're living your life, and then you have a source of income, and now you're learning. Literally, you're learning
Mhm.
by the process of being a small business owner, and you don't even know it. Like you have to be
Mhm.
responsible for upkeep, whatever it is. And I think that's the an education, right? A aha moment that you be like, wow, there's something here. I might be able to do another one of these, right? It just now you open up like a
Mhm.
flower to those opportunities. So I totally get uh, the ignorant part of maybe our communities are in some places that we need to kind of fill that gap. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think it's just now you connecting with these right people and then
Mhm.
taking that action to get it going, right? Because I
Right.
think on the automation side, that's kind of your thing already. I think you got
Mhm.
that. But on the real estate side, I still see some work that you need to do, and I think you need to connect more intentful and ask what you need, and then this is what I can provide, right?
Absolutely. No, totally agree.
Well,
Yeah.
you are in Florida, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm in Miami.
Okay. So one, I do know, okay, that I remember you're saying you're in Miami, Florida, or somewhere around there.
I'm right outside of Brickell.
Okay, there you go. So if you ever come across cases like this, right, where you see, and maybe we can talk about it a little bit more afterwards, right? But I can, if you don't know, I can teach you strategies and what I feel that you should definitely focus, especially if you're trying to help people with the finances, right? Because we have to go to where the sickness is, right? That's you need to cure
Mhm.
that first, right? And then most of the times it's the financial. So if you ever come across those situations like this, that you are preparing yourself to help. One of the things that you definitely should look into is how do I financially help these people, right? Like
Mhm.
what is the main things that I should do, right? And I was while Manda was talking, it came to my mind, right? Something that you should definitely do, because a lot of these people that are owners of a property, they're owners of a business. They just don't
Mhm.
know how to take advantage of the business when it comes to funding, right? So why don't you prepare yourself to learn how you do funding through business so you can help these people to create the ADUs into their property so they can rent them, and then they can help each other to not lose their property because now they have rental incomes, right? And I have a lot of people in Florida with licenses that can help us to get those permittings. You know, they're more based in Florida, but I'm sure that we can get connections over there. I mean, at the end of the day, once you have a license in Florida, it's for the state of Florida completely. So I work with people that do permittings, um, you know, that we can get an engineer in and get the plans that it's needed to create an ADU into their property. The problem here is going to be that people are not going to have the money most of the times, right? But if we structure it in the right way with their companies to get the funding to then this way be able to build this property that's going to bring them income to pay off the debt that they got into and the mortgage, and now they don't lose this property, then, you know, it could be a win-win. And then at the end of the day, obviously, you have to look into it like, okay, what is there for me? Well, maybe through helping them with an ADU, who knows how much it can be there for you. But what I could tell you is that you're going to get yourself out there, you know, to get yourself into more deals. Now you're going to be able to start working with, I don't know, I'm just throwing things out there. Maybe it looks good in my mind and it's not the same way, you know,
No, but
reality. But I know there is ways, you know, I know there's ways. Now, the main thing about all these things, right, is that you got to start somewhere. So this is that you've been so focused on doing. How many are you planning to do this year? Like, what's your number for 2025?
For, you mean like families, or you mean like in terms
Yeah,
of?
like what you're doing, you know, like this is what you want to do. This is your part of your Mount Everest. What is
Right, right.
2025? How
So
many?
I think for this year, my goal is to get 20. So
Okay.
10 per quarter. I mean 5 per quarter. I think that's gonna snowball afterwards. But if I can do at least 5 on a quarterly basis, I think I can nail down the process a little bit more. And I know that's a small number compared to the 1,000.
Actually, to be honest with you, I thought it was a pretty big number. And the reason why I'm saying is because you're right, it's gonna be a snowball eventually, but to start, you know, it's the same thing with social media. Look at it like followers, right? It gets so hard to get to 1,000 followers, but then it starts getting
Right.
easier to get another 500. And then once you have 2,000 followers, it gets easier to make it to 2,000. But getting yourself out there, it's like losing weight. How funny it is when people are trying to lose weight, right? They lose 10 pounds like this. But once they need those last 10 pounds, it takes like forever to lose them, right? Well, it's the same way for reverse, right? Like it took me so long to do my first property. And then the second one just got a little bit harder, but then the third one got easier, and the fourth one got even easier than the third one, and so on and so forth. So it's gonna work the same way. I mean, if you can do 5, that will be amazing. Actually, now that you guys that we're all here, right? Too bad Janet's not here and Jay, but I was thinking one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about today, even though we're going to have a meeting, a nice little meeting, but now that you're here, Will, right? I wanted to, I'm going to invite you on this, right? Because I'm putting the hot seat.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. So we are January 8th, right? And then we are going to be working, because I know I wanted to talk to you guys about this. Okay, who has their vision board ready for 2025? Raise your hands.
Oh, I like this. I haven't done it.
Mike, take your hands
I
down.
actually. Oh, okay. I put it down.
No, because he has race. It's not just joking. I'm just joking. I was joking. Who has it ready?
Paul
No
has
one.
ours. I don't have mine yet, but
No one. Okay, I got mine in my office, right? So I mean, I don't know how much you guys believe in it, but you guys will be surprised, very surprised of everything that happens when you can see it. And when it's a structure.
I agree.
It's not just putting a picture there. It's that every picture that you put out there needs to have a plan. So, Will, are you down to do a vision board?
Yeah, absolutely. I used to do. Funny enough that you're saying that, because I used to do this with my parents every year.
Oh,
We did
then
it for
you
3
see, I
years
told you,
before
Mama
before
wasn't. I told you, Mama was in the podcast, and you didn't want to believe me. You see.